Bertemu kembali, pendigitalan dan pengkomputeran awan menjadi antara pendorong kepada kemajuan sektor pembuatan di Malaysia. Sektor ini dilihat penting terutama bagi syarikat yang mengeksport. Pendigitalan dan juga pengkomputeran awan adalah selari dengan polisi kebangsaan berkenaan industri 4.0 dalam mentransformasi sektor pembuatan. Di peringkat global, pasaran pembuatan pintar dijangka cecah $589 bilion pada 2028 dengan pertumbuhan tahunan terkumpul atau CAGR sebanyak 12.4% dari 2021 ke 2028. Dan kita ingin melihat kepada proses pendigitalan Alliance Corp Manufacturing, sedia berhad atau ACM yang menghasilkan alat ganti dan bahagian dalam robotik dan juga kenderaan elektrik di Pulau Pinang. ACM mempunyai kehadiran global termasuk di China, the Netherlands, Republik Czech, Singapura dan juga UK. ACM mendapatkan penyelesaian daripada Nutanix untuk infrastruktur hyperconvergence untuk membolehkan ia mendapat kelebihan kompetitif. Untuk membincangkan berkenaan transformasi ini dan juga bagaimana peranan Nutanix dalam menyokong ACM, kita bersama Ketua IT ACM Eric Loy dan juga Pengarus Negara Nutanix Malaysia Avinash Gauda. Kita mulakan dengan Eric. Nah, izinkan saya meneruskan dalam bahasa Inggeris. Eric, good morning, Eric. Tell us what does digital transformation mean for the manufacturing sector, and why is it the key to accelerate innovation and also meet the changing consumer demands in the current stage of the pandemic?
Yeah, good morning, everyone. I'm glad to be here. Basically, the digital transformation is necessary, especially for the pandemic situation now where we can't actually work at the office. We can't be on site. So what we need to do is to transform how we deal with customers. I think the main thing is for manufacturers, for businesses, is how we actually help our customer to achieve their business goals as well. So what ACM is actually stands for Alliance Contract Manufacturing. We have been established for over 22 years since 1998. We are 100% homegrown manufacturing concern, which is doing integrated manufacturing solution and end-to-end high-level assembly services. We have over 40 plus major OEMs around the globe and presence in 7 countries, as you have stated. So
Go ahead, Eric. Yeah.
Yes. We have embarked on this journey very early stage. I think in 2002 we started on with our ERP journey, and in 2012 we started to move towards the digital transformation side, where we changed a lot of our IT and the way ACM employees work. Yeah, that gives us the head start, so to speak, to something unexpected like the pandemic that we are facing right now.
So you were already prepared before the pandemic started in 2020, right?
Actually, we started our transformation in 2012. That's basically almost 10 years ago. And what we see is IT during that time has already go borderless, and business has already go borderless. So what we are doing is we are trying to make our business beyond Malaysia. That's our target at that time, and we have started to grow very much since then. So the infrastructure we put in, the ERP system, which is SAP, we put in. We work with Nutanix. We have started to expand without much worry about our agility in terms of IT infrastructure.
But Eric, tell us, how important is the cloud technology in enabling Industry 4.0 transformation in Malaysia's manufacturing industry?
Okay, Industry 4 has been a few years ago. I think the government has actually launched the Industry Forward initiative since 2018, and it's still continuing right now. This is it has 9 pillars, and it is very important for us to know what is the concept of smart manufacturing, digitalization, and also the Industry 4 in general. Now, how does cloud work? Now, cloud is one of the pillars of Industry 4. It is that important. Now, why does it work? Now, we have been using cloud all along. Basically, we are using our web services in the internet to do our business, to do our social communications. We didn't realize that it's running on cloud. Now, what we are doing right now is we are doing a hybrid and multi-cloud solution. What we do is we would like our systems to be in Malaysia, and yet it performs like whatever is available on the cloud. So that is what we are going, and it will allow us to scale effortlessly in terms of that. It allows us to have low learning curve for our employees or the supporting staff, and most of all, a good uptime for our business.
Avinash, tell us about hyper-convergence infrastructure and how that enables smart manufacturing operations like ACM.
Yes, right. So that's a great question. So if I look at our Malaysian customers like ACM, what they're looking for and what Eric clearly mentioned is being able to be scalable, agility, having high uptime, and also the ability to have a fast learning curve for his employees, so they don't have to relearn things. So ACM was looking at agility as well as global, leveraging the global productivities across their global operations because they operate in multiple countries. So when you're first looking at smart manufacturing, the first thing is we're seeing that the economic recovery is hindered, right? If you're looking, it's very slow. Thanks to this Malaysian lockdown in view of the pandemic, we're seeing almost 2% of the national growth being carved off. And the losses are estimated to be in the region of 1 billion ringgit a day. So what businesses really need to do is accelerate the transformation to jumpstart productivity. It's basically do or die. And the only way to do this is multi-cloud. Multi-cloud is the way to go. So across Malaysia today, it's clear that businesses need a steady, simple, and streamlined cloud solution that enables them to gain a competitive economic advantage. And they're finding it in multi-cloud. In the case of ACM, they actually started this journey earlier, and they were quite lucky because when we look at the recent study conducted by Google Cloud, they found that only 2 out of 5, that's less than 50% of Malaysian manufacturers, had even increased their use, had even started their journey in terms of digital tools and analytics, right? So hybrid cloud is the ideal IT operating model for the vast majority of customers. So Nutanix actually, we commissioned a study called the Enterprise Cloud Index, or ECI study. And this ECI study took feedback from Malaysian customers. And the majority of customers in Malaysia, about 96%, identified hybrid cloud technologies as the ideal infrastructure for them and their organizations. And actually, surprisingly, Malaysia was considered ahead of the curve in terms of customers who had viewed hybrid cloud technologies as the way to go. When compared to our peers in the APJ region, which was only around 90%, and even globally, which was only 87%.
So,
right? Sorry,
Avinash, but companies like ACM, they started much earlier and even before the pandemic. What about companies who are looking to perhaps relook at their adding the cloud hyperconvergence cloud services to their operations now? Would it be easier or a bit more challenging as opposed to companies like ACM who started much earlier?
Actually, it's never too late, because if you look at it, the majority of customers, about 77%, were unable to quickly pivot. They had to they faced supply chain disruptions as well as inability to deal and work collaboratively with their employees. So what we found is why hyper-cloud infrastructure or multi-cloud is the way is that customers are able to allocate resources more strategically and minimize disruption. So it's never too late to start that journey overall with multi-cloud, and something that has to start now, because technology plays a key role in enabling manufacturers to navigate the pandemic. Majority had customers who were surveyed, 76%, revealed that the pandemic had caused their companies to increase the use of digital enablers, so disruptive technologies. And this is all caused by the lockdowns, right? So you're seeing an increased use of digital technologies, disruptive technologies like cloud, artificial intelligence, data analytics, and robotics, as well as 3D printing and even IoT.
And Eric, did Nutanix help ACM to also maximize its IT capacity? At the same time, I think for manufacturers out there, businesses out there, they want to know how companies like Nutanix can help their organizations without increasing their costs.
Okay, basically, you need to simplify, that's the target, simplify the operational part of IT. For businesses, we need to focus more on business than less on technical. That's how IT is shifting. What Nutanix has done is provide the cloud way of managing back to the on-premise and hybrid scenario. Now, what we did was we have actually expanded quite a lot since then, and we have added a lot of servers, triple, but we are still maintaining the same headcount to manage the 3 times the number of servers. And moving to Nutanix also, it is as simple, to put analogy is, you know how to use Facebook, for example, without going to a course. It's something like that. You will be able to understand how Nutanix works, how to manage your data center very intuitively through the user experience that they provide. Now, if I may add, I think we mentioned about SME earlier. I think it is important for SME to know that the cloud journey is not beyond reach, and then that's the most misconception. We have been working with MPC, MIDA as well, to enable SME because everything is as a service right now, whether it's cloud, whether it is on-premise.
And Avinash, how does Nutanix Cloud Solutions perhaps jumpstart productivity while giving the agility needed by the manufacturers to overcome this uncertain period?
Well, first, the very first step is that it's easy to learn. So the learning curve is much accelerated, right? And that was pretty important. If you look at ACM's case, they deployed a SAP S/4HANA, which is a major ERP. And what they needed was to be able to leverage the application's real-time reports and operational data. And they needed to have the capability at the right time. So the scalability and the ability to leverage the data and help them to enable them to support their various locations across the world. And all the while, it's about holding down costs, both in terms of the IT management, the application management, as well as the environmental impact of cooling and space that Eric mentioned. So Nutanix, why Nutanix specifically multi-cloud is, well, we have a very deep understanding of the business needs, and we're best positioned right now to help customers navigate the multi-cloud journey. We're supporting, multi-cloud is useful because it supports various cloud platforms and enables organizations to benefit from having choice and also mitigating the downsides of any specific cloud platform. So that's what's important when customers are considering which multi-cloud journey to embrace, because they need to be able to have choice and simplify the learning curve.
Speaking of choice, Avinash, I think this is the last question. We are almost out of time. When we look at next-gen manufacturing, what solutions are available out there to overcome legacy systems, to give economic advantage to manufacturers out there looking to perhaps ride this or go through this very uncertain period and come out successfully on the other end?
Yeah. So again, based on what the data is telling us, right? So if we're looking at from the ECI Cloud Report, majority of customers across Malaysia are looking at infrastructure to grow on, and they're finding that HCI or hyper-converged infrastructure and multi-cloud solutions are the way to move forward. The Malaysian government is investing over 210 million ringgit to support the transition and migration to Industry 4.0.
Okay.
And the pandemic is accelerating this entire process. So as I mentioned earlier, most of the customers are looking at the ability to be collaborative, right? Because most of them are in lockdown. They're not able to deal with their internal employees as well as their supply chain.
Okay.
And that has really constrained the entire business. So digital enablers such as cloud allows them to increase collaboration, artificial intelligence, data analytics to get real-time data, as well as the IoT and Internet of Things. Right? These are the solutions that even ACM is implementing with their in this current round.
On that note, thank you very much Ketua IT ACM Eric Lui dan juga Pengurus Negara Nutanix Malaysia Avinash Gauda membincangkan berkenaan dengan hyperconvergence dan juga multi-cloud perkhidmatan untuk sektor pembuatan di luar sana. Saya Rizal Zulkapli, teruskan bersama kami untuk perkembangan dalam dan juga luar negara. Salam hormat.